What got this thing started was actually me messing around on Instagram, and I saw a live. It was actually my first time seeing the live, and it was Chris Bailey, Compton Advocate, who we have a core team, obviously, that we put together, and he's a part of that core, a major part of that core. But Chris was saying some things that it's really unpopular to say, you know, as far as just talking against the status quo with us, how we moving in the streets as far as people that was actively involved in gangs and not really in no kind of way holding themselves accountable for those that are behind or upcoming as far as guidance, structure. You get what you can get and you get out the way. And that's really kind of been the status quo for generations, if you can even make it out. And I was impressed to hear that. I was moved to hear that. And to a degree, I felt kind of like if the shoe fits, wear it. And I thought it was time to really start trying to reach out and see what can be done in our community to not just network, but start actually pushing some type of positive motion for the sake of our youth, for the sake of our community.
Okay. That's powerful. And so I get that you watched it, you saw it, that sparked you, but where did you come up with, okay, I'm going to interview gang members, I'm going to interview mothers that have lost their children. How did you develop that? Where did that come from?
Initially, I wanted to see if there was any type of way to get a united message across. And that message had to be, in my opinion at least, somebody from every section or that had experience or grew up in each section in the city of Compton to share their, not just their trials and tribulations, but their recipe to overcome. Because that was really the whole purpose. It's not about who did what and why, but how you were able to make it through this concrete jungle. You know, Compton has its own flavor, if you want to call it that, as far as the dynamics of the gang life, especially the black gang life. And the majority of every section in Compton has a gang beef right across the street. And it was not like that for a long time. You know, maybe a few. But now it seems like every single section is feuding with somebody, meaning your liquor store. You know, it's which usually is shared. You can't go to get a bottle or a loaf of bread without taking a penitentiary chance or a life and death chance. And so that was why I wanted to reach out to everybody, because I wanted to make us, create a story or a picture of us speaking the same message together. And that message is, you know, I made it out. I'm hoping you can too. This is what it took for me to get out. These are some of the changes I had to make. These are some of the things I had to endure. These are some of the fruits of my labor. I made it out. I'm able to live in a nice area. You know, I'm raising a family, or I have a retirement now, because there is no retirement in the streets. There is no type of 401k for representing your section. You got really two true options if you really just ride it out and give it your best. That's either the casket or the penitentiary. That's it. So this message, to get right back to the question, when it came to talking to each section and mothers, because mothers have a whole nother type of impact. You know, like you lose a child to this. It's the greatest sacrifice a person can make. People like to say, you know, well, sacrificing yourself is the greatest sacrifice. No. I believe that sacrificing yourself, you made a choice. But to lose a child, this is my opinion, so I'm not trying to force my opinion on nobody. But to lose a child, you have to live with that heartbreak. And I'm talking about just a parent that's out here being normal and their child is taken from them in gang violence.
Mm-hmm.
That's an undeniable impact. Like for the rest of their life, they have to carry that heartbreak, that burden. And at the end of the day, how many of us have enough courage to sit across the parent or the family of somebody that we took and not feel that, not feel that generational trauma that we have caused, whether they lost their child is gone, but they may have had children, siblings, and then you get those other things that alcoholism or drug abuse, because they're trying to cope with it, become suicidal or just, it's so many levels of reactions and responses that come to this thing that we live. And I really don't think none of us truly take the time to say, and with the layers of what it is, and address every layer. You know what I'm saying? Just take your time and think about it. The impact that you had when you were squabbling up in elementary school and middle school and high school when you got your first gun. Like all those things are, and a lot of times, personally, you try to when you get to a different phase in life, bury that shit. Or I did. Because who wants to think about both your pain and the pain you caused? That's enough to drive you insane when you really start thinking about it. So we cope. And our coping mechanisms as Black people is, first of all, we don't talk about the shit. We just I'm going to just be over here doing what I got to do. I'm going to just smoke my weed, or I'm going to just, fuck on some girls. I'm going to just, we all cope different ways. And most of the time it'd be not good coping skills.
Yeah.